I want to be upfront. All this praise I heaped on the game in the previous video, it doesn't tell the whole story. I was basically just focusing on the majority of the game while somewhat omitting the last 20% of the progression. Truth be told, the end stages are quite lackluster and not nearly as well thought out as everything that came before. It seems like the developers had some passionate ideas they wanted to implement and didn't really care about the balance. It's a shame because some of the late game ideas are genuinely interesting, but they end up not working together. At one point, the game introduces a trading system. You can sell stuff that you produce to make money. This sounds fun and has a lot of promise, especially as it ties in perfectly with the automation and optimization features I've already praised. However, in practice, it gets completely overshadowed by another passionate idea, the portal generator. This generator lets you explore randomly created locations. The exploration itself could be more engaging, as the wrecks are pretty repetitive and not particularly exciting. But the real kicker is that the rewards are completely unbalanced. You can make 100 times more money in just 10 minutes exploring a high rarity zone compared to optimizing your trades for 3 hours. In essence, a couple of hours spent exploring these randomly generated areas can net you enough Terra tokens to buy everything you'll ever need in the game. This completely throws the trading system out of the window, making it pointless to engage with. This unbalance extends even beyond. The purchasable items are top of the line, making all the efforts spent collecting larvae and eggs around the map feel pointless. There's simply no reason to engage with these core mechanics when you can just purchase a superior version with no effort involved. It's a glaring example of how these late game ideas, while brimming with potential, ultimately just undermine each other. What surprises me is how easily some of these problems could be addressed. The randomly generated areas, in particular, are the main culprits. They are already loaded with loot, so just reduce the amount of Terra tokens you find there. That way, exploration would still be rewarding, but it wouldn't break the game's economy. This would make crafting essential again. Players would need to craft to make money, and they'd also need to craft consumables like sapling sacks and larvae, since they wouldn't have enough money to just buy everything. However, without the abundance of money, the very end of the game could become unbearable. Strangely, the Planet Crafter borrows an element straight from the Subnautica playbook, an element that was so universally loved and adored. Once you complete all other tasks in the game, the final objective is to grind resources for a couple more hours. The final stage of terraforming, which you reach after 20 to 30 hours of gameplay, requires a staggering 1.25 trillion terraforming index. But the final unlock that is needed to finish the game requires 5 trillion terraforming. At this point, there's no new content to unlock, no exciting structures to build, just a monotonous grind. Thankfully, exploration money helped us buy a bunch of multiplier fuses to significantly boost terraforming. But without that easy money, the grind could be agonizing. This design choice feels weird. Why introduce a mechanic so at odds with the rest of the game? The exploration money helps with the issue, but it throws the balance out of whack in other areas like crafting. For me, the rationale behind this endgame design choice remains unclear. Even past the money issue and beyond the problematic endgame, the Planet Crafter isn't without its flaws. There are a couple of additional concerns to consider. That's what I'm going to talk about in the full review, that you can watch here if it's already done. If not, stick around for another slice. Huge thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. See you in the next one.